It's Andy's DIY. I'm working on a 2006 Pontiac G6 GTP convertible. The occupant seat sensor has gone out. Common problem. Everybody's going through it on Solstices and other different cars. I went through 3 different seats at a junkyard. Luckily, they let me bring them back each time, hooking them up to the actual car. And the third one actually turned off the airbag light. So I'm going to just videos to show how to move over the seat sensor from the donor seat over to the factory seat. So here's the factory seat out of the GTP. This just came out of a regular G6, I think about 2007. The only real difference I saw, other than it had power nothing on it. I was hoping to move it all over, but I'm just going to move over the sensor. The main difference I saw on it, which is kind of a pain, is the latch. These latches right here that adjust the seat back. Mine's got the square, and I think they upgraded it to a splined because it doesn't strip out as easy. So be real careful when you go to take that off. There is an actual, when you go to take this off, because you need to get this off to be able to get this loose. There is a little, I don't have mine because it's I think it got lost, but there's a slip like cotter pin. It's like a C-shaped little wire. You need to get in here and you need to pull this out to release it, because I actually broke the plastic off mine. I know it was there, but there's still enough here for it to grab and do what it's got to do. But it helps retain it. So just make sure you reach in here and pull this little cotter, like a C-shaped cotter pin looking thing that sits in this little groove right here. Pull that off, and then just kind of jiggle this off with a flathead screwdriver, and this should come right off. That's the start of pulling it off. So on the donor seat here, you've got a T screw right here. I'm gonna guess that's like a Torx, I don't know, like a 10. It's pretty small. That's a Torx bit right there. And you also have one that's missing right there. This is the armrest adjusting side of the seat here. That's where that went there. Then that'll let you get this off, and then these just kind of slip. That's why you got to remove that, because these slip over that. And then you've got a bunch of little clips like this. You just kind of take these, and they're kind of clipped onto right here. You just kind of work them off and pop all these loose. Same thing around here. These little pieces here are kind of snapped onto this bottom rim right here. And you just work your way around. You'll see them all the way around, these little clips. That actually undoes the fabric of the seat and allows you to flip this thing up like this. I was going to try to work this loose, but I'm realizing it's really glued on pretty well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole cushion and move it over to my seat over here, and then it's a heated seat though, and I'm going to try to put the heated seat, I guess, mat on top of this. I'm worried about damaging this trying to get it undone. I started trying to pry it up. I just don't want to mess with it. When you go to unplug it, you'll see where it plugs into. It fishes through your seat, and it's the plug right here. It's got like a little retaining clip, and then this thing just plugs straight into here. This is the clip right here that keeps you from undoing it. But just go straight in, you undo that. You'll also need to take your seatbelt off, which is your seatbelt wire here, and this plugs into another harness up under here. So here's all the stuff removed, just to show you again. This is on the passenger side door of the car, those pieces. Seatbelt, rubber nut, and this cap kind of goes over where the seatbelt fastens in. And again, it's got a Torx screw in there also. And hopefully we'll get it moved over. Again, here's the occupant seat plug, sensor plug. This is like a little, I guess this keeps this thing from backing out, but this thing sits in here and you kind of tweeze it in. You can see how it kind of, like as you squeeze it, and that lets you pull this out. And once this out of the way, this right here will go down, and then you just kind of pull on it. I gotta do it with both hands. When you drop this little clip down, then the plug will just pull right out. You have this pulled out, then you can press this down like this, and then it just pulls loose, and there's your, that's when it's free. I think this is probably a ground wire to the heated seat, is what I'm assuming what that is. I'm gonna try not to disturb a lot of that. So, I'm gonna show all this, but these little clips on top, you just pull these out, and you guys kind of work them loose, but they're just kind of C-shaped. You'll just hook around the seat all the way around here, all on the back side here. You just pry those off, and you slip the fabric off these You slip these off the deck in here, this all comes off, and then this will allow you to free up the seat like that to get the cover off your cushion. So I'm using a screwdriver like that and just kind of prying down. And little by little, I'm just going to hook these all the way around. So something that did help, these little, I'm sure that's probably why they're here. If you grab this, I'll use that probably when I put it back on, but if you push, hold this my foot here, you push in on it really hard with that, and then it starts to get back, and then you get your long screwdriver, and then it'll help you pry it off. But grab this piece on the edge and push really hard, and that'll help you get a little bit of room to pull it off. Now, once you get to here, you know, I've got them all loose. You flip it up, and it's not gonna wanna go. What you've got is little hog rings. You can kind of see it right there. There's probably about 4 down each side. There's gonna be some in the middle, a couple in the middle. And you just have to just get after it with some needle nose pliers. And you just bend it till it comes apart. And there's like a little rod. This rod right here. This hog ring is holding around this like plastic piping or something. And it's just kind of clamping on it. You gotta open it up, you gotta get this loose from here. So here I'm trying to work up, hopefully I'm not gonna damage this, but I'm working up, this is the heated seat part. So I'm separating that kind of slowly, just kind of slowly getting this up. This is what I'm gonna probably just take that whole cushion over here and just lay this on top of that and put it back in, because I'm worried about breaking this wiring in here. But this seems like it's coming off. This is the wiring to the heated seat part. And you can see if you ever had to replace that, it's just a thin mat that's this wide that glues down on top of this, right on top of your occupant sensor right here. So this is the plug that plugs in the actual heated seat, the heat mat. You push down on that and it just kind of slides out. Now this thing's freed up. I should be able to pull this whole thing out. At least the mat part. The mat's all loose up over here, and we'll pull this off. So here's the seat from the car, and this is obviously, I'm gonna keep this cushion here and just move the mat over to here, and then just put this back in because I'm afraid of disturbing those wires. But there's what it looks like underneath. Basically the same thing except for the heated wire right through here. I'm gonna use some 3M. This is kind of overkill to stick this down, but I'm gonna re-adhese this with some 3M fabric spray. So I've got it glued back down. It's on there pretty good. These are these, I think they're called hog rings, but so basically, you can see I've got them separated. It's gonna grab a hold of this little, I guess this is piping. And so it's gonna be kind of a pain. This is a pain to do, but I think it's worth it if you can get it to work right. But I'm gonna slowly work this piping into all these little hog rings all the way around, and just try to close them with some needle nose pliers one at a time. Just start from the back, work my way down the middle, and then do the sides. You can see all these hog rings down the side. Just close them up around this piping here. So I tuck the seat kind of in that crease, and this will kind of hold the seat fabric back. So now I've done the rear, I'm doing the middle now. And so you gotta just kind of work that piping in there. So I'm using needle nose pliers, sometimes 2 of them, and it's just kind of a pain, but just one by work your way up to the top. But there's the middle one in there. And I'm gonna start on this one over here. So I've got all the bull noses crimped in place. I would start at the front first, and I tell you, it's a bear. I mean, it's a workout. But I grab these pliers here, and you just really have to just pull really hard down and start to work it over and just kind of really hold it in place and get this one in. Then the side ones here, front side ones go in easier, but you really want to get this one done first. Then that'll allow you to get these side ones in a little bit easier. But definitely do this one first and then work your way down the sides.